All right, so let's try a couple more examples. So last time we just talked about when the exponent was basically just able to be factored. These examples involve either the slip and slide method or pulling out a greatest common factor and then factoring the binomials. Okay, so example 1, we've got 3x squared plus 9x minus 12. I know that 3 is a common factor in 3, 9, and 12. So we're going to pull out the 3 first, and then we can start factoring. So we're going to start by pulling out 3, and then we have x squared plus 3x minus 4. And that equals 0. So now I can go ahead and factor this part. And I know that the factors are going to be 4 and negative 1 because 4 times negative 1 is negative 4. But 4 plus negative 1 is 3. So I should have 3x plus 4, x minus 1. Okay, and that equals 0. And then I can go ahead and solve. So I'm going to have my bars. And we're setting all these equal to 0. Okay, so 3 does not actually equal 0, so we're going to exclude the 3 from our solution here. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and just focus on the x plus 4 and the x minus 1. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and subtract 4, so we should get a negative 4 here, and we should get a positive 1 here. So my solution is negative 4 and 1. All right, so number 2. Same idea, we want to pull out that common factor first, and between 5, negative 20, negative 60, 5 is our greatest common factor. So I'm going to go ahead and pull out 5, and I'm left with x squared minus 4x minus 12 equals 0. And then I can go ahead and factor this, and I have 5 times x minus 6 and x plus 2. Okay, split it up. 5 does not equal 0, so we don't need to worry about that. And then we have our x minus 6 equals 0, x plus 2 equals 0. And we can solve x is equal to 6, and x is equal to negative 2. And when we write that, we're going to make sure we put the least one first, and then the greatest. So for examples 3 and 4, these ones involve slip and slide. Okay, there is no greatest common factor between 2, 3, and 5. So we're going to go ahead and do our slip and slide method. Remember, once we take the 2 and multiply it by our last number. So now our equation is x squared plus 3x minus 10 equals 0. And now I can factor this, and I know that I need to use 5 and 2, but a positive 5 and a negative 2 in order to get these numbers. So a positive 5, a negative 2. However, we're not done here because remember we slipped, so now we're going to have to go ahead and divide so we can slide. So divided by 2 because that's what we multiplied by. Remember, if we can't simplify it, it slides up. So now I have 2x plus 5, and negative 2 divided by 2 is negative 1, still equal to 0. And now we go ahead and solve. So 2x plus 5 equals 0, x minus 1 equals 0. Okay, so I have 2x equals negative 5. So x equals negative 5 halves, because we're dividing by 2. And over here I'm just adding 1, so x is 1. So my solution is a negative 5 halves, comma, 1. Okay, same idea for number 4. There is no common factor between all 3 of those numbers, so we're going to do our slip and slide. So we're going to go ahead and take our 8 and multiply it to the end. So we have x squared minus 22x plus 40 equals 0. And my factors that I want to use are 20 and 2, but they're both negative because negative times a negative needs to be a positive. So x minus 20, x minus 2. But can't forget, now that we have this, we got to divide so we can slide. Divide, divide, slide, slide. Remember though, we want to simplify these. So 20 over 8 can simplify into 5 over 2. So and then this simplifies to 1/4. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and slide. So now I should have 2x minus 5 and 4x minus 1 equals 0. Okay, so now I have this, and I've got 2x minus 5 equals 0. Add 5, divide by 2, so x equals 5/2. And then over here, I have 4x minus 1 equals 0. Add 1, divide by 4, x equals 1/4. So your solution here is 1/4, 5/2. Now it's your turn.